Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat, coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Khan Shalom. So today I want to make a quick video concerning spiritual powers, okay, because that is real, okay, that is what is waiting for us, you know, for the ones that follow Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, okay. So what is about to happen when Esau, the so-called white man, okay, is gonna come in like a flood, like the scripture says, you know. They're gonna come with military, with their tanks, uh, uh, um, with their robot soldiers and whatnot. Then is a time wherein the Most High Yahweh Basham Yashai will step in and he will give his elect man spiritual powers. Okay? Because it's not fair if a tank comes to you and tries to shoot you down. What are you gonna do against a tank with just your normal human body? Okay? Or if there's 100 soldiers gunning you down, you know? You cannot do shit. So that is a moment for the Most High to bestow that spiritual power upon you, you know, and to protect you. Like Superman, man. He was being shot at, the bullets just bounced off his body. And that is real. That is not only in movies, man. Like what you see in the movie Avengers with the Hulk, all these powers, people flying, etc. That is real, man. That is waiting for us, the Israelites. Okay, so this is Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Who is our main enemy? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, let me see right here, man. A flood. A flood is like, in the Dutch we say overstroming, you know, suddenly. Okay, a disaster. Alright, you as one person, what can you do against a tsunami when it comes for you? You know, you ain't protected against no tsunami as just a normal human being. So when Esau's gonna come like this upon us, okay, that is when Yahweh Basham Yahushai will lift up a standard. It says it here. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Okay, so a standard is when this flood hits like a brick wall and it cannot go through that wall. That is that spiritual power that is gonna be bestowed upon those men in the time to come. Just like how you have a car crash test, the car that is racing against the wall, that is Esau, Edom, the enemy. And that wall, that is the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, that spiritual power, man. That wall ain't moving. The car is getting messed up, you know, like this. But the wall is just standing still, you know. That is that standard that is going to be lifted up in those days, man. All right. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. Let me read that. Isaiah 40, verse 31. It says, let me start at verse 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainted not, so he doesn't get tired, neither is weary, okay, he doesn't get tired. There is no searching of his understanding, okay, you cannot find out his understanding, man. He's omnipotent, okay. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength, okay. So the faint, the ones that are weak, he gives them power. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall, okay. So even when you are young, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. You might have a lot of energy, but even then you cannot continue on running and playing hours after hours after hours without taking rest and without being tired, you know. But it says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. So the ones that wait upon Yahweh Basham Yahushai, which is the elect, they are gonna get spiritual powers. They're gonna get that strength, real strength. They're gonna mount up with wings as eagles, meaning they are gonna fly. Okay, like you see in the superhero movies. They shall run and not be weary. Okay, reminds you of the Flash. Okay, the Flash, he can run very fast, you know. It looks like he's not getting tired, man, the Flash. So this is what is actually in the Bible, man. It says, and they shall walk and not faint. You're not gonna be tired anymore. And also in the kingdom, we of course gonna have our extraterrestrial body with the spiritual powers. So that is gonna be for forever. Okay, but before the kingdom comes, the elect will also get spiritual powers by Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Okay, because we're gonna fight against these enemies of ours, which are actually the enemies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, Jeremiah 16:16 says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. Those are the prophets that are standing on the street corners, standing on the highways, the byways, you know, telling people to come back to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, telling our people who we are, that we are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, standing for the name of the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahushai. Those are the prophets, those are the fishers. They are fishing for the elect. Okay, when you are going to the ocean and you're gonna fish, you throw some bait and you catch a fish with a big fish net, right? And some fish like lobster and crab, you know, like some certain sea creatures you don't want, so you take them out of the net. And other creatures like salmon, tuna, you know, you want them. So that bait is the Bible, the truth of the Bible. Okay, the true name of Yahweh, the true name of His Son Yahushai. Okay, and those that are not supposed to get it, you know, the crab, the shrimp, the lobsters, those will not get it, man. They won't be part of the fold. They are not part of the fold. Okay, of the elect. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain. So the prophets will be turned into a hunter. Okay, and a hunter is somebody that is gonna hunt you down. All right. It says, and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. What is a hole in the rock? That is a bunker. So it doesn't matter where you think you can hide. The elect of Yahweh Bashem Yashai is gonna come to get you. Okay? They're gonna break open your bunkers, so-called hiding places, whatnot, together with Yahweh Shai and the angels. Okay? So that day is gonna be beautiful, man. That time is gonna be beautiful. All right. Now there are a few more scriptures that show you that actually show you spiritual power, man. Okay. Let's read Psalm chapter 18. Psalms 18 and 29. It says, for by thee, by who? By Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For by thee I have ran through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. So King David could jump over a high wall. Okay? Like the Hulk, man, jumping over high things, man. That is spiritual power, man. That is a form of spiritual power. Okay? As for Yahweh, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. Okay? For who is Yahweh save the Lord? For who is God save Yahweh? Sorry. Or who is a rock save our power? It is the Most High that girded me with strength, and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet. So King David was very fast. Also, like that animal, a hind. Okay, very fast. King David was very fast. and setteth me upon high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that the bow of steel is broken by mine arms. So if I'm correct, he could even block arrows with his arms, you know. And the Most High is the one that teaches you how to fight. So in those times, you should not be worrying, because the Most High just gives you that spiritual power, and he can just give you, give you that knowledge of somebody that has been fighting in the UFC, for example. All of a sudden, you know all these moves and whatnot. Okay, it's an easy thing for him. All right. So from there, let me go. I believe the book of Joshua. Joshua 23. 10, if I'm correct. Yeah, Joshua 23 and 10. One man of you shall chase 1,000. Do you know how strong that is? If you are chasing 3 people and they're running away from you, that means you are already stronger than those 3 people. So let alone if 1,000 people not even are willing to fight you, but they are running away from you, showing you how powerful you actually are, man. For the Lord your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he had promised you. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yashai bestows that, gives you that spiritual power to fight, man. Okay, one time I had a dream. We was with the camp of the GMS Holland camp. We was teaching on the street, and we was in the city. And I thought, I spoke to my elder. I asked him like, shouldn't Yahweh Shai be here by now? And when I looked to my left shoulder, I all of a sudden saw Yahweh Shai standing right in front of me. And he, you know how in anime people just appear and disappear, like it's like they all of a sudden they just there. That is what happened, you know. He was just there, but I had a feeling that he is there all the time. You know, he came like, what are you talking about? I'm here all the time. So it's true, man. When it says in the scripture, where 2 or 3 together in my name, there am I in the midst. I really felt that, man. You know, I really felt that, man. He was looking at me like, what you talking about? Shouldn't he be here by now? I'm already here. I'm all the time here. Matthew 18 and 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, okay, in the name Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, there am I in the midst of them. So he's around us all the time at camp, you know. And he took on the form of a man with a lighter skin tone, but his face was all the way, you know, messed up, because he had the face of when he was being crucified. That is what I saw in my dream, like wounds, big eye, you know. It was a very terrible sight, man, you know. And it was I was getting a bit sad, if I even remember, because that is how messed up they made his face when they crucified him. Okay. It says it here, Isaiah 52 and 14. That is a prophecy about Yahweh Shai. As many were astonished at thee. His visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So he was beaten so much that you cannot even recognize his visage, his face. It was marred. Okay. Yeah, and even the book of Isaiah 53 also speaks about Yahweh Shai. For those people that say that the Old Testament doesn't speak about the Son, Yahweh Shai, it does. Read Isaiah 53. Okay, anyway, from there, let's go to... Oh, so going back to my dream. In that dream, I was with the brothers, and Yahweh Shai appeared. But when he was there, like a second later, everybody was facing towards the ground. Everybody was being pushed with their face toward the ground. Nobody could stand on their feet in the presence of Yahweh Shai, man. That is how strong his aura is. You know, like in the anime, you see people being pushed down by gravity to the ground. That is literally what happened to all of us brothers, you know, in his presence. It's like I could not see his aura, but I could feel his presence. And this guy is bowing, but we were flat on our on our belly, man, face toward the ground. And then a few seconds later, we were able to stand up, we and all the brothers. And then you know what happened? We were screaming, Kalalal Yahweh Basham Yahushai. And then we got like Super Saiyan. Like we were screaming and we got Super Saiyan, you know? Super Saiyan. Like we got a spiritual power, man. And it felt like every cell in my body was exploding, you know? Like there was power hidden inside and it exploded out. But it was not painful. It felt really powerful, man. It was crazy. And all the brothers were screaming, you know, like this, you know, like this, like a Super Saiyan, you know, getting this power up with Yahweh Shai. We were screaming, Kalalal Yahweh Basham Yahushai. And then the dream switched and we were in the heaven, in the galaxy. And we were walking, I believe we were walking on a big chariot with hundreds of brothers who were in the galaxy and we were walking to the same direction. You know, so I believe that was the elect. So Lord willing, I'm part of the elect also. Lord willing, you that watches this is part of the elect. Okay, because you have the elect, the 144,000 men, which are the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Okay, and we also refer sometimes to the elect as the, you know, the ones that do believe in Yahweh Bashem Yashai, but are not the prophets. You know, they are followers of Yahweh Shai. But the prophets, 144,000, those will be like the Dragon Ball Z characters, you know, spiritual powers, powered up, as far as I know. Okay, so not to make this video too long, let me go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither do corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed, okay, because our foul and fleshly bodies cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. We gotta get extra terrestrial bodies, which are not able to commit sin, which is gonna be perfect. It says, in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye at the last trump. So it's just like you twinkling an eye, just like you are blinking at the end. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So in the twinkling of your eye, when you blink, then you have that incorruptible body, that immortal body, because we are going to be immortals as Israelites. Every Israelite eventually is going to be immortal. Okay. For this corruptible must put on incorruption. You see, so a carnal body must put on the immortal body. And this mortal must put on immortality, you see. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Okay? Because we are not going to die anymore. Because if you commit a sin, then you die. The wages of sin is death. But if you are not able to sin anymore, because the Most High is going to put the laws in us that we are going to keep it 100%, we are not going to die. You can read it in Hebrews chapter 8. Okay, so Deuteronomy 32 and 20, I think that's the last one, concerning spiritual powers. Just to show you also that spiritual powers is spoken about in the Bible, man. No, it is not here. I think it was another scripture, but I forgot which one it was. But anyway, I was just edifying, you know. And with that, I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity, and shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. May the election be upon your households. Kan shalom.